So there's this old saying that you shouldn't mix friendship with business, and over the last couple weeks we've seen the perfect examples of that concept coming to life in the form of the drama that's going on with the YouTube group 2Hype. I'm assuming a lot of people will not know who this group is, but just to kind of summarize it for you, 2Hype was a YouTube group that was originally formed in 2017 when some of the biggest names in the 2K community started doing collaborations with each other.
Today I'm joined with Kristopher London, DDG, Lowe's, what's your name? NSK, and JAMARI.
These collab videos were so successful that they started to garnish a cult-like audience of mainly kids who couldn't wait to see what their favorite video game / basketball YouTubers would do next. It was like Jake Paul but for sporty kids, not the spazzes.
It made it so much hype to see how we all hooped. So we just started posting basketball videos, and when we started collabing with them, it just, I feel like it just became something big.
So they went on like that for about a year where they would just pop up on each other's channels, and this is when they finally decided to take things to the next level. By 2018, there were 10 members of the group: Jesser, Cash, 50 Cal Mal, LSK, aka Chris London, Zach, Jidel, Mopey, TD, Los, and Walker. And by that time, these guys were pretty much all living in a Calabasas mansion dubbed the 2Hype House as they tried to grind out their dreams of internet fame and clout. Also, I say pretty much everybody because a few members chose to live away from the group, something that would prove to be a very smart decision down the road, because as we all know, having roommates is not easy, and when you combine that with the pressures of being a social media influencer who has to make content every single day, it's kind of like a recipe for disaster.
The whole space, the whole house included, is like one big giant film house. Living in a house like this, you have to be open to being filmed like all the time, pretty much 24/7.
Because with this newfound success obviously came a lot of money and notoriety for every member in the group. I personally hadn't caught wind of this channel until 2019 when I started watching Los Polos stream on Twitch and saw some of the videos he was in where I immediately recognized Chris London, but not really anyone else in the group, well I guess besides Cash. For this reason, I want to take a proverbial magnifying glass and look at what's going on with this guy specifically in the current day, because his rise to success and fall from grace has been something that you don't see every day. Don't get me wrong, this man is rich and he's clouded, but at what cost? You see guys, back in 2012 through 2015, I wanted to be what you called a storytime YouTuber, where you basically get in front of the camera and tell stories about your life in a funny and entertaining way.
The closer he got to her, the more stuff she started doing to me. Like right when he got there, she was holding my hand. And then like the more the conversation ensued, he like went and grabbed her arm. Mom, I'm sorry if you're watching this, but this bitch had a handful of my dick. Like she just grabbed it. We hadn't kissed, we hadn't done anything. She just grabbed my dick.
These days that genre doesn't really exist here on YouTube anymore, but at the time it was the shit. I looked up to guys like Swoozy and Kev Jumba in my youth, and through them I found Chris London one day because back then this was his style of content.
Boyfriends, yeah, fuck you. You're annoying. If I follow your girl on Instagram, what the fuck are you doing in her pictures? I don't want to see you. Get the fuck out.
Enough of the sad stuff. Let's lighten up, people. Let's lighten up. Do I have any pets? I had a cat, but the thing is, it died.
I watched him a lot for about a year's time as I actually found a lot of influence in his videos at the time, and I thought he was a top-notch creator. But after I went to college in 2015, I fell off the YouTube scene for a couple years because I was focused on school, work, and personal relationships, and I had kind of given up on my YouTuber dreams. I guess basically what I'm trying to say is that I didn't watch or even think about this dude for a few years, so you could imagine my amazement when I saw what he was doing with 2Hype and his personal brand. Out here meeting LeBron James and playing one-on-one with James Harden. So I thought, man, that's awesome how successful this dude became, but only a few months after I discovered 2Hype and this new LSK persona, rumors started circulating that Los Polos wanted out and that he was having serious issues with several members of the group, most notably Chris London.
I'm in a fucking huge-ass mansion, and that's the worst I've ever felt in my whole fucking life, bro. How are you someone's friend, bro? And you're literally talking shit behind their back. Why am I always getting fucking shit on and fucking... Like, dude, you guys have seen from old videos and shit, just for no reason, just meet, like, literally just getting insulted and, like, not even, like, in funny ways, just, like, embarrassing type of fucking insult ways.
This is kind of what set off the red flags in my head because, for one, this was really the only member of this group I was familiar with, and for two, for the most part, Los pretty much keeps it real. He's not the brightest bulb in the pack, but he seems authentic to me, so I kinda took his word as bond, right? And so Los left the group and found his own success about a year and a half ago, but only now are we really starting to see the seams unravel on this whole situation, as the group's original core has almost completely disbanded at this point. And it seems like the breaking point is when 2Hype decided to do a collab with 100 Thieves, who's one of the biggest gaming organizations on the planet, and apparently some of the members didn't like that, because this is when Tyler, aka Mopey, said he was done with the group, and he said that basically the only thing Chris and Jesser, who are kind of like the head up at 2Hype, that the only thing they care about is money, and it just wasn't really fun anymore. This really opened up Pandora's box, as Mopey was always kind of seen as, you know, the more innocent member of the group who was like kind of just a positive influence. So if he was coming out saying something negative, you know it's really fucked up. And so like I said, this really opened up Pandora's box, and all those members who had left over the last 2 years or were kicked out or whatever you want to call it, they started coming out and speaking really negatively about their experience at 2Hype. And like I said, with Chris London and Jesser at the helm of this whole operation, they caught most of the blame.
I could have spent close to 2 hours just talking about all the lies and the amount of times LSK contradicts himself. Let me just say this. These people have snaked a lot of others over the years.
Like from Chris and Zach, I was not wanting to talk to Los and TD and Woofy. I thought she did bad too because of things they said, but they were just untrue to get me to not talk to them and keep the group just everybody against these people, so they seem like the bad people.
If I have an issue with you, I come to you directly. I call you, right? I don't.
No, I mean, with me, you talk shit about me. Like, behind my back. Multiple times. For God knows how fucking long.
Keep in mind that these are people who once considered each other brothers, who also felt so betrayed and slighted, all in the name of money, that they felt the need to publicly address how fucked up the situation really was, even all these years later. And to make matters worse, Chris made a now deleted horrible response video where he exposed confidential information about various members of the group and took absolutely no blame for his actions. Look, at least the white dude owned up to some of his mistakes and admitted some of the stuff he did or said was wrong. As for Chris, the first video he created made him look really bad. It's pretty obvious even from the outside looking in that this man became too infatuated with chasing the bag and basically managed to lose himself in the sauce. You guys really have to understand that this group of people really started out as friends, so when things get a little bit messy, some people are gonna get pretty emotional. But not this tall, lanky motherfucker. He doesn't seem to give a shit about anyone but himself and his business. And I guess rightfully so. There's no love or emotion when it comes to business moves for most successful people. So great, this guy is successful, but like I said, at what cost? At the end of the day, even people he still considers friends all admit that he's at the very least shady and very emotional. And at the very worst, he's a flat out clout demon who will use anyone as a stepping stone to get what he wants. I will cut him some slack and admit that navigating a ship this massive is not an easy task, as in this whole YouTube shit, you're pretty much just floating out in uncharted territory trying to hit some land. And he does have to be a pretty smart and hardworking guy to have built this all up. Also, there's nothing wrong with getting the bag or wanting to obtain money, but that doesn't give you an excuse to treat other people like shit and talk behind their back, only to discard them to the side like a snot rag when you feel like they no longer serve you, especially when they have a major hand in building up your career. But like I said, at the end of the day, the bottom line is, this is why you don't mix friendship with business, because when it gets messy, it's not a good look for any of those involved. I'm not gonna go too far into the details because there's a lot of petty stuff going on, but I thought it was a good lesson for you guys to learn. And I thought it was a good thing to display on this channel. Let me know what you guys think about all this 2Hype drama. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Would you ever go into business with some of your best friends? Let me know down below. As always, thank you for watching. It's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and I'm out. Peace.